Good morning, family. This is Pastor Damon, lead pastor of Impact Family Church here in New Braunfels, Texas. I wanted to pop in today to give you a little bit of word of encouragement. As you know, we are going through this series called Goliath Must Fall. And last week we talked about overcoming your fears, overcoming the things that God has called you to do, and overcoming those fears of going out and doing it. And we talked about the story of David and Goliath and how David was anointed king of Israel, but he had to wait 15 years to actually step into the calling. It's sometime during that process that we get discouraged and fall off focus. But what I wanted to share with you today is my pastor used to always say this, and when he said it, it didn't resonate as much then as it does now, but he asked the question, are we fighting for victory, or are we fighting from a place of victory? Are we fighting for victory, or are we fighting from a place of victory? What does it look like, Pastor Damon? That looks like David being there, getting ready to go up against Goliath. Everybody else was scared. Everybody else was nervous about what they had to do, but David knew that without a shadow of a doubt, he had been through training. Everything he had been up to that point was going to give him the victory. He already knew it. He was in a place of victory. To give you another example of that, anyone who knows me, my favorite movie of all time is The Last Dragon. I remember when my dad took us to the Mission. I think it was off a Mission, but it was the outdoor drive-in theater back in the days, 1985, when the movie came out. And I was just so enamored with the movie. How much of a fan I am, I can recite every word in that script, word for word. I mean, I was mess with Tracy from time to time because she's my vanity. Sometimes I say, can you show me some moves? Yeah, stay on my business, y'all. Stay on my business. Let's keep it holy. Let's keep it holy. Okay. But in that, what resonated with me even throughout the plot of that movie is that all the training that Bruce Leroy had, he can be a martial arts black belt master. He can fight this person. He can fight that person. And when he went up against the antagonist of the movie, Shogun, he initially got beat. He was getting beat up. But it wasn't until he started to fight from a place of victory. And the way he fought from a place of victory is he realized that it was his time. He realized that he was the one that should have the glow. He was the one that should be the kung fu master. So what I want to encourage you today, people, is to understand that you have the glow. What is the glow? The glow is the anointing to go and do what God has called you to do. If God has called you to have a business, it will happen. Sister, it will happen. Brother, it will happen. If God has called your marriage to be holy and set aside and consecrated for him, yes, the arguments are gonna come. The arguments are gonna be there. I've been married 26 years. As much as Tracy and I love each other, we get on each other's nerves sometimes, but we are still here. Why are we here? Because God said it. Our marriage is anointed and is destined to be what God has called it to be. And I'm speaking into your marriage today. It will be what God has called it to be. It will be what God has called it to be. Be encouraged, friends and family, and walk in a place of victory. Fight from a place of victory. Fight from a place of victory. Be encouraged and go out and and do what God has called you to do. And remember, as always, be impacted.